So I'm here with my wife, Lena Parks. My name is Henry Parks, and I'm going to just go over a few things about the article from Gordon and Ram about Israeli, so-called Israeli gentrification into the West Bank and the Golan Heights. Now, quickly, Lena, how do you feel about that policy of removing Syrians and Palestinians from the Golan Heights?
In fact, despite it being problematic, I am in favor, simply because that area it serves as a buffer between the Israeli and the Syrians.
Just quickly, let me just interrupt for a second. The reason why it would serve as a buffer is because of the situation that happened in 1967 during the Six Day War, where Israel was invaded through the Golan Heights, and since then that territory was, of course, won during that war.
Correct.
Okay. Um, Now, if we just switch a little bit over to like the actual like West Bank, there's been Israeli settlements there. How do you feel about those settlements?
I'm not a fan of the settlements. I think they definitely escalate the situation. Most Israelis are probably not in favor of the settlements, not necessarily for the sake of the Palestinians, but more because it takes a lot of Israeli soldiers, a lot of manpower to protect the settlements. Sometimes the settlements are very small, talking about maybe 100 people, 100 families. It takes a lot of resources and especially a lot of money to protect them, to provide protection. And I think that a lot of Israelis feel like it's just not worth the effort nor the financial investment to protect the settlements.
Now, more about the settlements. Do you think that the Israeli government's policy of still allowing settlements there is a way of kind of like imposing a sort of like gentrification on the area? Basically, the more Israelis you allow to move into the area, then they could start to claim the area as their own. Sort of like, for instance, like in Harlem, where I'm from, more white people have, moved back in the area, and then in certain places, they have been able to almost claim Harlem as their own, thereby pushing out the people who are already there.
I see what you're saying about Harlem. I don't think that this necessarily. I don't think this is gentrification is not the right word to describe here. There's no gentrification here. This is not about a white man coming in and taking out brown people.
Mhm.
Um,
But they're saying without the brown people.
okay. Um, I don't see it as a gentrification for several reasons. Why? One, there is both historical and religious merit for them being there. Again, just because I don't support it doesn't mean that I can't see the point. Another thing is there's definitely a political. It's a dispute over land, so of course you want to say that Jews lived there in order to have a reason to keep the land, the territory.
And so, as far as that's concerned, with the settlements in the West Bank, Israel, of course, have had to take certain measures to protect the citizens that are there, Israeli citizens that are there. So they built like a really high barrier. How about the barrier? What do you feel about that?
I'm not a fan of the wall. Again, I understand why.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there was a security. There was a lot. There was the intifada. There were stabbings. There were a lot of suicide bombings. There was definitely reasons to build the wall. However, I don't think that is as far as morally right. I don't think it's right. I don't think that you should be building a wall around anyone. Kind of takes me back to Germany a little bit, East Germany.
Yeah, I mean, also, that wall kind of disconnects like certain houses from certain services
Yeah,
that they've been doing, like hospitals
yeah, I
and
don't
schools
think
and
that's
that sort
right.
of thing. Okay, so, but with that said,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people have made the comparison of that and apartheid.
Okay. I don't.
You know,
That's no. I think apartheid has a very specific purpose. Mostly it's racially motivated.
Okay.
It's about separating ethnic separation. Here it's not about ethnic separation. It's not even about religious separation. It's purely based on security. This is if we before the I mean, if you look at the numbers did go down significantly about attacks of the Palestinians, even suicide bombing. If you look at recent years, it hasn't the numbers been in decline. I think a lot of it does have to do with the war. It's just harder to cross the border. With that said, I don't think that's right.
And as far as just to go back to like the Golan Heights, uh, if you look, John Stewart, you of course you know who John Stewart was. Once on one of his shows, he had showed a map, and the Golan Heights was already included in Israel proper. Mm-hmm. Do you think Israel should just have said went ahead and annex the Golan Heights and made it just part of Israel?
Do I know? Mm-hmm. Because I don't think it's as far as if you think about future and you might read about any type of resolution in the area or any type of peace, that's not going to contribute to that. However, going back what we talked about at the beginning of the video, how it is important to have that buffer, you definitely need to have some type of separation between two hostile sides. Okay. You can't just have it. You can kind of reach your hand and you're right there at the other side. I think you do need some type of buffer. Now, do I think that Israel just kind of just claim Golan Heights? No. Mm-hmm.
Yes, you did. And lastly, just to wrap it up, what would be your ideal situation for relieving tensions or eliminating of all the tension between Israel and the Palestinians? What would be your ideal situation?
I mean, there needs to be a two-state solution. Okay. I don't think either side is there, not politically. I don't think the Palestinians, by choosing Hamas to be their kind of spokesperson and their leaders and the ones who kind of make decisions, are doing themselves any justice. And I don't think the Israeli side is doing themselves any justice by keep electing those extreme right wingers such as Bibi Netanyahu. Um, and I think before anything can go forward, as far as any type of peace agreement, both sides need to change their political parties altogether. Okay. And I just don't foresee it in the nearest future, unfortunately.
Well, thank you very much for helping me out today, and I'll see you later for a late night movie.